It's time for the type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D, it's cold. No way. So bad.
You left at
right here on the Woodwards Network. My name is Neil Rule. I'm in Milwaukee. Darren McCarty back in our palatial studios.
Frozen.
In Birmingham. KG, Spencer Raxter in the building. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Make sure you jump in there. If you want to skip the line, you can use the super chat. Get your thoughts out there. And all of it, but we're doing it here. Ton of stuff to get to. D-Mac, the kids got a snow day, electric.
Oh, they do. Lucky. Why didn't I get one? I didn't get a call this morning.
Trying to tell you that.
No, in all seriousness, like the roads are slippery, and then it's just that's sort of the cold and everything else. So just take a little bit of extra time if you're driving in this garbage right now. You got to get there safe. So good for the kids. Maybe they'll be tuning in.
Yeah, for all the kids that are home from school watching Big D Energy for the very first time. Hey, remember, that teacher doesn't know anything. We do. So just stick here with us, all right? Except for the kids in my wife's class. You should listen to your teacher. But other than that, we are good to go. I hope everybody stayed safe. That was only so D-Mac, you'll appreciate this. That was only a 2-hour and 10-minute drive to the airport yesterday.
I believe it, man. I believe it. And then you always love the old, what is Milwaukee, 45-minute flight, and you probably, what'd you say, you sat for an hour and a half waiting to get de-iced?
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah, that's the way that it went. Jump in that Woodward Sports chat. You want to skip the line, use the super chat. I ain't say that. If Arthur Blank is the OC, I ain't watching next year. I might just tap out completely. I don't want it. I don't need it. Very nuanced super chat there from I ain't say that. We will have coordinator talk, everybody. Speaking of stuff that people do want to talk about, though, D-Mac, Thursday fights, a very special edition of Thursday fights, D-Mac. People are excited.
I'm excited too. I don't know what it is. Do I know what it is, Spencer?
Yeah, it's the young bucks on the ice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this was a good one. Yeah, a whole bunch of little D-Macs running around. Why we haven't seen this before.
There's a lot to break down on it, D-Mac, too. People are looking forward to the quote unquote Donnybrook breakdown. What I'm going to request of you when we do that is different segments of it all, like the different breakouts, because you obviously had probably the most incredible Donnybrook of them all. So I want you to take us around the room when it's all going on and what the thought process is.
Yeah, you got to figure out where the eye of the storm is, and then you go from there, right? There's been some beauty, but we'll figure out where the eye of the storm is, and then we'll peter out. So stick around for that Thursday fights.
Absolutely. Jay Hoppo, 4018 in the super chat. Good morning, Woodward fam. Cold and snowy here in West Virginia as well. I bet it's rough out there also. But yeah, everybody be safe out there. Woodward Sports Super Chat, Ryan's reaction. Neil, biggest surprise for me, no one ever called for Kirk Cousins in 2025. Now they're saying Atlanta doesn't have a QB for their next head coach. Yeah, it's Ryan, it's interesting how fast things change, isn't it? Like that's something that I thought about as well. Steve Wilds, if they hire Arthur Smith, I'm out for good as well. Spenny, wait, what happened here? I've been gone 12 hours. What? It's over now? What happened?
I mean, if they hire Arthur Smith, I will fucking freak out.
What are we doing here? I can see them doing it too. I pray they don't, but I swear I can see it.
All right, that's fine. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Like Arthur Smith. Like when did he become a candidate? Like when did this happen?
He's per Rappaport, he's being interviewed.
Yeah, they requested the interview. The Lions did, so maybe they just scouring the market. But
looking over every rock, right?
Yeah.
Not showing their hand, not tipping their hand. Listen, guys, get upset if he has a second interview. right? Don't get upset for the first one. Everybody gets the first one. I don't see them leaning that way.
And like, look, guys, remember we talked about this when the season was ending, and I said that we're going to have to toughen up a bit. We're not going to make it. This pace is not sustainable. Like every candidate that comes in, we either have a parade down Woodward or we say that it's over and we'll never watch. Guys, we can't sustain this pace. D-Mac, I think what you just said is the case. Everybody just calm down and focus on the second interview. Who's getting the second interviews?
I mean, we see this every year. So don't get upset right now. And like you said, pace yourself. What are we, January?
We're not going to make it, guys. We're not. Woodward Sports chat thread, get into their Anakin Skyogre. Lions better not. If we hire Arthur Smith, I'm crashing out. Steve-O Baby. Neil, I was shoveling my snow today. Someone drove by and said, go Red Wings, as I was wearing my Red Wing hoodie. Be very careful when shoveling, guys. You can have a heart attack.
You can.
Yep. John effing Lord, my neighbor's main pipes are clogged and frozen. The plumber's been running an electric snake for an hour and still going. This whole thing yesterday, I feel like that one, look, we always get the weather guy that comes on there and says, look, this is going to be bad. There's going to be a storm. And usually it doesn't live up. No one said a word about this.
Well, they undersold. They undersold it yesterday because they didn't figure out. And, the minor that I have in meteorology, right?
Yeah.
To know that there are three systems that hit each other somewhere near us that caused all the cold, all the sleet, and the snow, because there was a lot. That wasn't a half inch to an inch of snow.
No.
There's a lot more. I had to clean my car off twice.
No, the oversell is always better than the undersell.
Yeah, like last time when we were pissed off because like it was Snowmageddon and then it was nothing.
Right.
They
told us it was a dusting. This was more than a dusting.
This wasn't a dusting, bro. Like you're 24 hours later and these roads are still garbage.
Yeah,
like slip sliding.
I have a snow service that comes. I haven't been able to use. I haven't been able to use it yet.
Look at this guy. Right. He moving on up.
It only comes if it's 2 or more inches. Story of my life. But
do your thing.
So the first time we had a decent amount of snow, I said, "Fuck it, it's gonna be enough. I'm just gonna go to bed without shoveling the snow." Turns out it wasn't enough. I wake up, it's all frozen over, snow service isn't coming, and I just made it even worse. So last night, I was like, I'm not going to run into that problem again. I'm going to shovel the snow, and I shovel at 11 o'clock, and then it's just doubled by the time I woke up this morning. So luckily, the snow service is coming, but I couldn't take that chance again.
Nice.
So can we get some accountability to the weather people in this town? Like, hey, I get it. Sometimes they're wrong about, they oversell like a storm that's coming in. Nobody said a word about this one, man. Nobody said a word, and look at it. How about some accountability, D-Mac?
Yeah, I'm waiting. I got the explanation this morning a little too late, so just be safe out there. But they're on brand.
Ryan's reaction in the super chat. I keep thinking Dan Campbell commenting on OC's leaving after seeing success with him, and he can call plays himself to prevent it. Ryan, we don't have the stamina for this discussion every single day. We're not conditioned. We haven't put in the work necessary to have this discussion every day. All right, I'll meet you guys in the middle though. What we can do today, and I think that this is going to get deep and emotions are going to run high and it's going to carry a lot. We are going to have, I guess, and we touched on it before, but the off season, this is a make or break off season. And for me and someone like, look, I get where Brad Holmes is coming from with a lot of the moves, but D-Mac, we are going to have an uncomfortable conversation for some of us. And it has to be held. It does, D-Mac, it's time.
No, because you're at the point, right, with the success or the lack of success to whatever that the foundation is sort of built. Now it's the question of how are you going to make this team better? And it's just not just personnel, as we've seen. It's the guys behind the scenes. So, and honestly, what do you give them in their rating for hiring offensive coordinators? Now, successful with Ben Johnson, but with Anthony Lynn and Johnny Morton, unsuccessful, right? So you need to sort of get this right, so to speak.
Yeah, and I know that there's Spenny has it on the show sheet too. This whole Brian Flores thing, I think it plays a part. I'm going to attempt something I think that is actually impossible to do, and it's not going to work. But I'm going to try it anyway because that's what you do, D-Mac. The only way is through. So I'm going to attempt to, I guess, adjust or ask to have Brad Holmes adjust some of the thinking to some degree. And that goes for coordinators also. But I know people are going to get stuck on names, and it's going to devolve into that, and then it's going to all fall apart. So if you guys are cool with that, that's how it's going to work. So be ready.
You bring up a good point, Neil. Are we getting to the point where we're feeling that Brad Holmes is more stubborn and set in his ways of how he thinks this is going to be built, as opposed to maybe taking a bigger picture and saying, you know what? Tried that, maybe that didn't work, let me revamp this? Is this where, because this has more of a feeling of, to me, with the fans, is that they don't trust he's going to make the right decision.
And yes and no and yes, D-Mac. I think those are the answers. Those are the answers to that question. So because it's going to get heated and it's going to get emotional, let's go to the break. We'll circle back, and we're going to attempt to do the impossible here. So everybody be ready. Emotions are going to run high, and it's going to all wrap up by people complaining about Jared Goff. You ready? You ready? You guys ready to hold hands and go through this right now?
Let's do it.
All right, tell them about BlackRock.
I will tell them about BlackRock, and we got a little special event for you guys. The Woodward heavyweights are heading to BlackRock Bar and Grill in Davidson, Michigan, for the third BlackRock food review on Wednesday, January 28th from 5 to 7. Make sure you come check it out. They'll be joined by a special guest, Mr. Darren McCarty, and he's going to be handing out some autographed jerseys, so make sure you come check it out. Trying the all-new Enforcer Cut, the 25-ounce ribeye, inspired by the legend himself. Order the Enforcer Cut at your local BlackRock restaurant today for a chance to win a signed Darren McCarty jersey or 2 tickets to the Detroit versus Colorado at LCA on Saturday, January 31st. To enter, post a photo of your steak using hashtag BRE or hashtag BR Enforcer Cut and hashtag giveaway. The winner will be announced by DMAC live from BlackRock Davison during the heavyweight show on the 28th. Find a location near you at blackrockrestaurants.com. So you got to go to BlackRock. You got to order the 25-ounce sirloin, the Enforcer Cut. Post a picture on Instagram or Twitter or wherever and use hashtag BR Enforcer Cut and hashtag giveaway, and you'll be entered for a chance to win tickets to Colorado versus Detroit that Darren McCarty himself will be giving away at BlackRock's Davison location on January 28th during the heavyweight show from 5 to 7. So make sure you check it out. And remember, mention Woodward Sports to get 20% off your total bill. It's BlackRock Restaurants.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
What about Planet Fitness, Neil?
You guys already know about Planet Fitness, the very best gym in the gym game. And right now, $24.99 a month. You guys know that. You get the Black Card option. Go to any Planet Fitness in the world. You get unlimited use of all the amenities and everything that goes with it. And look, I told you guys, I've been a member for going on 4 years, and I'll never be a member at another gym. I've been a member at different gyms before. Not as good as Planet Fitness. The size of the Planet Fitness gyms, the availability of the equipment. You're never waiting for anything. There's an army of all kinds of equipment in there. There's a Planet Fitness less than a half a mile from the hotel right here in Milwaukee. So guess what? When I'm done with the show, nothing changes, guys. The routine stays the same. When I'm there, I go to the Planet Fitness after the show in Troy. I'm in Milwaukee. I'll be going to the one in Milwaukee. That's the way it works, everybody. Planet Fitness, over 50 Metro Detroit locations. Planet Fitness, don't pay more money to lift the same weights. All right, we are off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule here in Milwaukee. D-Mac and the rest of the fellas at the Birmingham compound of Woodward Sports. But we're talking Detroit Lions. And look, guys, we said it. There's going to be some uncomfortable conversations, and Spenny dropped it on the show sheet today, and it's time to take step one into that. And it's a very baseline question. Is this a make or break offseason for Brad Holmes? And I guess if you want to skip the line too, you can use the super chat. Chris in the super chat. Don't want to get political, but serious funding cuts to the National Weather Service and NOAA as well. I don't want to get political either, Chris, but I appreciate your interest in Big D Energy. Shout out to you. But D-Mac, let's I guess at the beginning of this, make or break off season. I think originally, D-Mac, when we took a look, and we did what we always do, take a financial snapshot of where the Lions are when we get to the offseason. You throw in the mix this coordinator situation, D-Mac, and look, I think it's over to say this is a make or break for Brad Holmes. But D-Mac, I will say this to you, my friend. There is a lot of moving parts, and probably a lot more moving parts than we anticipated for this offseason. You throw this coordinator thing into the mix, D-Mac. Look, you have to give Brad Holmes credit for what he's done since he walked in the door here. I know that the ending sucked the last 2 years. I understand that. But to this organization to a baseline level of competition and talent, you have to give him credit for that. But D-Mac, at the same time, and maybe I give him more credit and have a little more patience than most, but D-Mac, at the same time, there is a degree of truth. This is a huge offseason. D-Mac, you went through an organization, you came up with an organization, I think, that has a bit of a similar type feel to it when you're coming back from the dead, you acquire talent, you acquire big-time talent, you get it to a point, and now there comes the point where you have to figure out how to take that next step to get up to the top of the mountain. And I guess, D-Mac, my question to you, do we stand that? The Red Wings, with you guys, there was piece accumulation, and then there came to a point where, all right, we have to get this thing over the top. I guess my question is, this is way more than I thought it was going to be right now on this very offseason. But D-Mac, it is time, man, and the questions have to be asked.
Well, yeah, because it's time to level up. And you can say that what Brad Holmes has done is sort of, if you're using the Red Wing analogy, is he's garnered a lot of younger guys and hit on the drafts and guys that you want to resign your own players. That's sort of the first step, right? Where you have guys, you have the Hutches, you have the Gibbs, you have the Jamos, you have, the season that Jack Campbell had, you have Kirby, Branch, you have these guys, Laporta. So your talent for and bringing guys in and building it is there. What he hasn't done is brought in is all the guys that he's bringing in. And here's where the criticism comes, because you're willing to give him a little bit of a runway and a leeway. But, bringing in these injured guys or guys who are injured that are supposed to have that revamp of the career, it just doesn't happen. So I think it's so much more important this year, because he not only has to hit on the draft of getting guys that can come in here and at least support and play and be a part of this team in the future. But he's got to hit on some free agents and some signings that he hasn't in the past to solidify these guys, right? Like it's all about, what did we learn this year? Is that other teams had better backup players than we did when injuries went down. So you got to improve on that. And you need to hit on some of these signing guys, the Davenports, the Mobley, the guys that you bring in, they have to play. You know, you could say, okay, DJ Reed, you know, he was brought in to do something, but when you look at it, the Carlton Davis move was probably a better move the year before. So he's just got to hit on whatever moves that he makes, no matter what it is. And I think that the glaring thing too, Neil, why the lights are brighter is because you have to replace a coordinator after 1 year of just, you know, there's one thing in losing a guy, but then when you replace that guy and you have to replace the guy you replaced your guy with that left, that's something, because that gets the fan base wondering, and can you make the right decisions? So a lot of right decisions have to be made by Brad Holmes and the coaching staff and guys that he brings in, and also to the free agents. And then, you know, needless to say, you always have to hit on the draft. Like, you always have to get guys, and especially because we've taken chances and moved some picks where everybody's a little upset you don't have a third rounder and you know, in the middle of the lineup. So you have to go out and either create that or find the guys that'll play. So where they're at right now is they need the guys that are going to be impactful.
Yeah, and impactful too at the coordinator spots. You know, like you were talking.
Everywhere.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Everywhere. Yeah, I mean, like, let's just keep it real, right?
Everywhere.
And
Whoever you bring in has to have an impact. Right? Whether it's a small and the 10% because you're a backup DB that can go in there and make some plays, as we saw a few guys at different moments. But your coordinator is so important because it's going to tell everybody else, A, are you bringing in a guy so that, like, I think what I'm hearing from the fans is, are they worried like Dan's won't give away that whole offensive coordinator or play calling? And when you bring in a veteran guy, or if you got a McDaniel or you got somebody established, that takes that question away, at least for me. That it's not a guy that you're hiring within the organization that you can move on from quicker.
And let me address a couple of things in the chat right now. I'm Salty says, how many quarterbacks still playing in the playoffs are making $69 million a year? I'm Salty. Look, man, I pride myself on trying to do a good job with this stuff. He doesn't make $69 million a year, Salty. I know that fits your narrative right now with what you want to do. I'll flip this. So I'm Salty. I'll say this. Do you understand? Then let's just go by money, right? I'm Salty because that's what you're saying. So let's just go by money. Total contract value for quarterbacks. Goff is 14th, I believe. 14th in the league. You know who has more money on their contracts? Tua, Love, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Prescott, Hurts, Lamar, Herbert, Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, and Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. So I can do that too. I'm Salty. Like, please don't comment if you don't understand how the real world works. Like, please just don't, my friend. Okay. By the way, Lamar next year, almost a $75 million cap hit. $75 million. I'm Salty. I know you said, "Oh, go get me Lamar" before. Like, you said that. So would you be cool with a $75 million cap hit for Lamar? Get in the real world, man. Woodward Sports chat thread. Maz's carpet bag. This upcoming season should be make or break for everyone. And see, D-Mac, it took all of 2 comments to get there, which I knew was going to happen this way. Or what, Maz's carpet bag? Should be make or break for everyone. So then what's the line? If you want to say that, then give me the repercussions to that. Make or break for everyone. So, like what? They don't win the Super Bowl, everybody's fired? Like, I want everyone, D-Mac, I'm looking to have like a real discussion, man. Like, that's what I wanted. I know that doesn't work. I know that, like, people don't ever want to do it. Super Bowl or everyone's fired. It's just, D-Mac, it's big. The coordinator stuff is big. But the bottom line is, for me, like, if we're going to talk make or break, the one thing that I have to see, the coordinator thing, D-Mac, we won't know. We're not going to know here in January if they hire someone. We're not going to know in March. We're not going to know in July. We're not going to know in September. Like, we're not going to know till, like, we're halfway through this season coming up, whether or not the coordinator thing was a hit or a miss. But with all that being said, I guess the baseline, and Spenny, if we could do this like a chat poll, because I'm really curious to see where the people are at. Do you trust Brad Holmes hiring the coordinators? For real, I want to know if like people trust him, right? And I think it's a valid question. And in and above that is, to me, the only thing that I want to see, the coordinator thing, he's on his own, man. Like, that's his gig. Like, we'll have to see how it all plays out. The thing that I want to see, I'm asking for, as someone who's probably been a defender of Brad Holmes, will you change the philosophy? And I think, D-Mac, I think at a baseline, like, look, I can bring up these exceptions that everybody's talking about right now, but I think at a baseline, I think that comes to head. We all want to see a change in philosophy in terms of free agency, in terms of probably even trade deadline, but more so, because we're not at the trade deadline, but more so a change in philosophy in the way they go about free agency, D-Mac. And if he comes out and he does that, I think that will bring all of the facts together.
Free agency includes the coaching hirings and stuff like that. And you brought up a great point, because in Holmes we trust, and something where Brad Holmes has sort of never been in the conversation. Slowly but surely, Neil, you're making a great point that he's the one that if there's a hot seat or if there's something that the imperativeness that all the lights and cameras are shining on him, we need him to perform. We're not talking about, it's not Dan Campbell, it's not the players. You know what you got. You can say what you want about Goff, but we know what we have. With Brad Holmes, you bring up a great conversation piece as does his philosophies change, because up until this point, right, and until it doesn't work, right, until you're ascending in it and then you don't make the playoffs and it doesn't work, that's when it forces you to reevaluate. So I got to think that that's what they're doing in Allen Park, and he's going to reevaluate and maybe understand if he's going to be successful, he's got to sort of change his ways. That's the evolution. If he doesn't, I think we'll see that. But I think he's the one that more or less the pressure's on, and we need to see him come out on top and perform and be held in the regard as we have the past, 3-4 years.
All right, let's do this. Let's take the break real quick. We will come back and continue this discussion. I do want to see a change in free agency philosophy. I do 100%. Hey, guys, snowing. Don't know if you know this or not. So guess what? You're going to have to get your car washed when all this thing is over. If you get your car washed, say, twice a month, you need to go to jackscarwash.com, take a look at their available subscription packages. For about the cost of a car washes per month, you can have an unlimited subscription. So every time we have these snowstorms that the weather people don't tell you about, and then the next thing you know, there's 5 inches out there on the ground. Doesn't matter to you, because you can just pull into any one of the 40-plus Jax locations and get that car washed and get it cleaned up after every single snowstorm. You can try Jax Car Wash for free right now. Text WSN to 888-522-1729, and you will get yourself a free Jax Car Wash. Yes, you can try it for vacuums, free compressed air, the free mat cleaning rooms, the hand towel drying service. It's all there for you. Go to jackscarwash.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, he's a ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill, it's all for you.
Big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
About Art and Jake's.
Let's talk about Art and Jake's, everybody. The very best sports bar in the sports bar game today. Incredible media, over 80 wall-to-wall televisions, crystal clear 4K, high definition, all of it. Elite sound as well. And what about the menu, guys? You guys already know. Shrimp tacos, tuna. They have the, the smash burgers and the wings and all that kind of stuff too. But it is an elite menu. And they have specials going on all week long. The bottom line is, if there's a sporting event that you want to watch, Art and Jake's is the move. Hey, here's a little cheat code. They got that rib special that goes on Mondays. College football national title games coming up on a Monday. Put 2 and 2 together there, everybody. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting, a fine dining flavor. We're back at it, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. And we're talking Lions. We're talking Brad Holmes right now. Is it make or break? Woodward Sports chat thread. Mike G, can we trade for Lamar? Well, I mean, for the cap hit people, Lamar has a $74.5 million cap hit next year. You notice some commonalities around all this stuff, D-Mac? Like, you know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say?
Yeah, the price of a quarterback is expensive. So if you can get any value on one, especially one that puts up, so if where they stand in the hierarchy of getting paid, like which ranking, and then their production is ahead of that, then that's usually a good thing, right? If they outproduce where they stand as far as where they get paid, our guy is that, right? Hence makes it a deal.
Yeah.
How much production does 75? Much production does 75 million have to have? Is that 5,500 yards passing and 40 touchdowns, or what?
That you'd have to ask the people. I don't. Yeah, you'd have to ask the people what those are. Woodward Sports chat poll. Spenny asked a question: do you trust Brad Holmes hiring coordinators? 52% of the people say no. D-Mac.
All right, and that's where we've leaned towards, right? From in Holmes we trust, and Brad Holmes never came up in a conversation to started to crack a couple years ago into this year. Everybody and my question to you, Neil, like there's a super chat that you got to read about.
Yeah.
Who hires the OC, right? Like Sheila, Chris Spielman, not really. But how much say does Dan Campbell have, or is this all on Brad Holmes, right? As far as who this next offensive coordinator gets chosen.
I would imagine it's a lot. Gordon Jones in the super chat. Isn't the job of Sheila and Spielman to pick coordinators? No.
Brad and Dan.
No, it is not. Yeah. Michael Weary, Brad and Dan are safe for now, but if we have another season like this last one, oh boy, see ya. And Michael Weary, like, I think that's a little aggressive, but it's a conversation. And like, look, you guys know as they were coming down the stretch here, especially like that last game in Chicago, for me, I wanted that Bears schedule that the Bears had this year, and they got it. So to me, that's even more. Like, look, baseline Super Bowl or bust. Wheezy D313 in the chat. Oh, you knew the let Brad cook crowd meant Brad better be right. that's what it is, But no, D-Mac, I mean, like, look, there are some philosophies that I want to see differently. Like, it's easy to say, no, I don't trust him to, we need to fire Jared Goff. Why'd they give? I saw this in why does Jared Goff have a no trade clause? Quarterbacks, dude, they cost money. They're expensive. You need concessions to have them. Like, that's the market, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I still told you, in total value of contracts, Goff's like 14th in the league. You see what I'm saying here? Like, I do we think like those things just apply to the Lions and like just apply to us, and people don't like look around? I don't understand that, man. Adam from the D, Neil, do you goon on the road? Adam, I do not. Quote, goon on the road. So
you might.
Never heard it like that before. He's not in Ottawa, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Seems to be a Canadian
That was pretty
thing.
funny, though. Yeah.
Was pretty good.
No, I will. Rando Smalls, Neil, are you interviewing for the Lions OC? I've not been connected yet, but if I do, look for me to bring back the run and shoot. I will get Mouse Davis as my special assistant, and we will bring back the run and shoot. So that is the way that it would work.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I got a question for it because it's not personnel as much because of injuries and whatever I can look at. For me, it's the way that they played, right? The immaturity. I thought we'd got over the stupidity and the bad penalties and the pre-snap penalties. And this year, it just didn't seem like on the same page for a 60-minute game. I thought we were over that as far as the grit, and they're going to go out and compete and play the right way. And you know what? Talent-wise, if it doesn't come to it. It's more than that now.
Yeah.
At least, like, that's how it feels. Like, even go back to the end of the Chicago game, right? Of the Montgomery not going down and then passing it on the three. Like, that was, to me, the precipice of the season, of just not being like, I want them to be smarter. Does anybody else think that they got dumber last year, or just, I don't, that's maybe not the right term, but they weren't as sharp.
Yeah.
Right, for 60 minutes. And that's, to me, where it starts, of getting these guys focused to whatever else. And what that is, right, and through injuries and lack of continuity with coaching staff, and you hear things, different pages. That's what they got to get back.
No, I hear you for sure. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
and I think they definitely got dumber last year, and I think that is the point of losing like some great minds. Like, you lost Ben Johnson, who's a great offensive mind. You lost Aaron Glenn, who's a great defensive mind. You lost a lot of those coaches in between the staffs, not just those two, but a lot of the secondary guys as well that either went with Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn to different places or got jobs somewhere else. So I think when you lose all of those guys, Dan Campbell did not do a good enough job replenishing his staff with the talent that he did when he lost it, and that's on him. And he needs to be better at that, and he needs to get that right this year.
But that's more of a good. Don't you find that, Spenny? Like, that's as big of a glaring.
Yeah.
So they get like this. Like, we can talk about personnel and free agents and draft and whatever, but this coaching staff to the OC and who he wants to bring in, right? You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to have some of his guys. That, to me, is where the crack in the foundation is with this organization.
Woodward Sports chat. Rando Smalls has a question for D-Mac. D-Mac, does Neil look a little like Stu Grimson?
No, I didn't goon on the road. What? Does he look like the astute? Stu's way more gray, but yeah. I mean, he's as tough as he is. So I mean, apropos.
There you go. Lunchbox, Neil, what's the plan if it's not Goff? I don't know, Lunchbox. Present that in the chat. Let all these cap experts explain it to you. What they're gonna do. I'd be curious to hear that explanation as well. So, like Goff hater in the chat, okay, give me the roadmap, man. Tell me what the roadmap is, and we'll address. DMAC told you, I wanted to talk about philosophy. I wanted to talk about free agency, and not even names, and not even numbers, just like the philosophy of what they need to do. How far did we get in that, DMAC? How far did we get?
0, as always.
We
lean that way, Neil. We were like a starter in the downhill Olympic alpine ski jump. We were leaning forward, getting ready to go, and we weren't there.
I don't know, man. Mike G, where is Neil at? Calgary? Hopefully he's scouting players for the Wings to acquire for the trade deadline. No, Mike G, I'm in Milwaukee. I'll be at the Admirals game. Getting a look, seeing what the Admirals got cooking. So, Stevie and I were talking on Sunday night. He sent me over here to Milwaukee to scout the Admirals game going on tomorrow. So, I'm sorry I gave in, but there it is. Dante 151, Neil, is there a cup chair in the hotel room of yours? Also,
of course it is.
Do you have a J.O. Crystal? LOL. Woodward Sports chat thread. Where was it? I'm salty. Bo Nix, rookie deal. Stroud, rookie deal. Drake May, rookie deal. Caleb Williams, rookie deal. Oh, don't believe guys should pay top dollar to miss the playoffs. Oh, well, I mean, hey, what kind of money's Josh Allen making? What kind of money's Trevor Lawrence making? What kind of money is Brock Purdy making? Purdy's on the extension. Why does everybody just want this one they want everything to be one unilateral truth, which is crazy. And how about this too? Games come down to plays, and there's not Caleb Williams made a play in the game and Jordan Love didn't, so therefore the rookie deal is the way to go. Like that, I know that takes some nuance and some thought and stuff like that. I get that, but at the same time, man, there is more than one road. For everything that you say about a guy in a rookie deal, who's probably going to win this thing? When you boil it all down, who's probably going to win this thing? If you had to pick two teams, who would be the two betting favorites right now?
The Rams and
the
the
Bills.
Yeah.
How do they have their quarterback? What kind of money does their quarterback make?
Pay both.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It all seems like pretty simple, man. So
Right, or
there's one way to get around.
Or, right, the other New England Broncos, you get a high and you hit on that quarterback.
Yeah.
That quarterback's got to, right? You need these quarterbacks to be ready-er, like the hockey kids, right? Then and throw them in there. That's where you, but you also have to suck in order to get that high of a pick, right? Yeah. So, other than that, you got to go pay. You got to pay somewhere.
Tell about Gold Crown.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's talk about something that takes your chill game to championship level. That would be Gold Crown. You know the slogan, smoke like royalty. Gold Crown is a Michigan brand through and through. It's some of the finest cannabis products in the state, whether it's their Crown Jewel gummies, packed with flavor and effects that'll keep you vibing, and their infused jester pre-rolls that hit harder than a Lions linebacker. Gold Crown is all about giving you top shelf quality without the royal price tag. All rise for the reign of royal highs, only with Gold Crown.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Lamar looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Walking Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, enjoy a haircut, scalp massage, hot lather, neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of the talented stylists. Take advantage of the $20 haircut special to scan the QR code. Up in the corner, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. This is wicked awesome.
All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule here in Milwaukee. Oakland basketball tonight on ESPNU on TV, by the way. The Golden Grizzlies and Milwaukee. I'll have the radio call on the Odyssey app. DMAC in the compound in Birmingham. KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat. Red. People wanted to talk, the philosophy change that I want to see from Brad Holmes. The people don't want that. They just want to talk about Jared Goff and his contract. So, I'm at an impasse. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll go, Spenny, I'll bring you in here. You are the free agency king, the transactional king. You and I in the past have butted heads on that sometimes, but my assessment from before, if we saw just a little adjustment in free philosophy, we will both walk away happy, right, Spenny? That's all we're asking for, or not? Do we need like a mega shopping spree? Like, we can meet in the middle, can't we, Spenny?
Yeah, I don't think they need a mega shopping spree, but they need to spend money where they need to spend money, and that's the interior offensive line or somewhere on that offensive line. You need to bring in someone who is a veteran, who can take care of business, and who plays at a high level. You can't guess with picks anymore. You can't be like, okay, we're bringing in these kids. Hopefully they turn out to be something good. No, you need to go out there and you need to pay for talent. You need to pay for productivity, and you need to get a solidified veteran in there in the interior offensive line.
I think I think that all the money should go to the offensive line, because what do we know? And I get it about the defense and stuff, but if you keep Goff mobile, you give those running backs an opportunity or block lanes, your offense is what your offense is and your talent, right? And I'm going by hopefully that Laporta will be back 100% and stuff like this, but you got it's got to be 2 years ago offensive line. Now hopefully Penny will be back and he'll be 100% healthy, which by the way, when we talk about it, to be a first team Pro Bowler and seeing how hurt he was this year is unbelievable. But to me, it's all about protecting Goff, keeping him upright, and that run game. That's all it is. And then if you got to be a team that wins shootouts because you've spent more money on a guard or a tackle or something like this, I'm good with it. You realize that. Do you want last year or do you want 2 years ago or whatever it is? Mm-hmm. This offense has to be cooking. The defense is the caveat to come up and play it, but that's imperative. Watching these playoffs, watching this NFL, is that you have a quarterback when he's protected and can make the throws, can make the plays. So you also, too, because it leaked into the running game. And you had two of the arguably, you get Sonic and Knuckles, right? Right? That were utterly just taken out of your game plan because you couldn't block for them. So to me, it's like spend everything on that offensive line. That's my philosophy.
Woodward Sports chat thread, quote, King Dong Along, says that Neil says Neil sounding like a slappy. Woodward Sports chat thread, I had this one and I lost it, but it said that lines are built through the draft. Okay, so for the Amaslappy crowd, and to kind of land the plane on this topic, I'm calling for action directly at the center spot to back up to Spenny's point. I think Spenny and I are in lockstep on this, and the move has to be made. Not in the draft. Back to it. There's no time to address the position. You are Super Bowl or bust. There's not. You can't ask that. You can't use it, because you know what? And for the Neil's a Slappy crowd, let me merge the two right here. What do I the Minnesota Vikings all the time and their quarterback spot? And as they continue to piss away opportunities, this year was a lost year for them. I don't give a shit that they won 4 games in a row or whatever to finish the season. You know who else doesn't care? The Vikings themselves. But I will use them as an example here. You know what they did again this year and last year, choking in the playoffs? They wasted a year of Justin Jefferson. They wasted another year of Justin Jefferson. You see what I'm driving at here? There's no more time anymore. Panay's in his prime. Amon-Ra St. Brown is in his prime. There is no more time to say, hey, we'll draft a center, and in the meanwhile, guys, no, there is no more. So, guys, for the Amaslappy crowd, I am calling for action on that, especially at the center spot. There's 4 dudes that are free agents this year. We've talked about them all the time. Connor McGovern, Cade Mays, and a couple others that are out there. Yes. That to me, that seems to be a non-negotiable, D-Mac. And you know I don't do this a lot. But for this, at this time, with this position of need, going back to what Spenny just said, going back to what we all say, this interior of the offensive line has to be improved now. Now. Not in a year, not in a draft. Now. This year. Now. It has to be. I know what I saw. And look, I'm no football savant. D-Mac, you're no football savant. I'll defer to Spencer game in the trenches. You like that one, Spenny? But the bottom line is this, man. You have to have somebody at center. I think we learned that. And there are some of the best in the game that are available now. And it's you have to make it uncomfortable for them to say no. You have to, D-Mac. It's a non-negotiable, man. So that's it. Is it make or break? I'll say this. The center position's make or break this year. Is that fair?
100%. And whoever said you build the line in the draft, that is usually the way you do it, unless, your Pro Bowler and your center that you're relying on has to retire after the draft and whatever else. Like, it's imperative that you can, and I know there's special cases to it that I'm not saying that there's not, like a Joe Alt or something like this out there, but that center position was proven this year to be such a valuable position that you need a veteran and a guy that's an adult that can be there. Yeah. And because you can draft somebody to learn, like a Tate Ratledge or whatever, but it shows you can't learn in 1 year or be thrown into the wolves. That's, the quarterback of the offensive line. That's the number one imperative position. And usually you build it because you don't have guys that are retired, but you lost Zeitler. And then you lost a couple guys too. So you weren't prepared. You thought you were with Manu and other guys, Mahogany, the different guys that step up, but they weren't ready also. So that's why, to me, if you're going to spend the money, right, on any of the offense, just spend it. You got to spend it on the center first. And then if you need to get a guard or backup guard or, different stuff like that, because that's for this team. That's what this team needs.
Woodward Sports chat. That's pretty funny. Mike G. And yeah, there are some slight Wi-Fi issues here at the hotel. I understand it, but thanks for being with me though, guys. Mike G. Neil sounds like he's in a techno room at Clutch Cargo's with Anson vibing on a couch. Could you see Anson with shirt, couple of buttons undone up at the top?
I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for bringing it back.
Anson's a glow stick nunchuck guy.
Right.
Glow stick nunchuck guy.
That's the sleaze fit, we call it. So.
Yeah. Grandpa Joe Stinky Toes. Sheila made it clear in her end of season letter. Hey, guys, like I know that we put a lot of stock like in off-season letters and things like that, but the bottom line is like this is a Brad Holmes production. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell production. Like that's what this is, guys. And I don't know any other way to put it to you than that. Like letters are nice and titles are nice, but it's on them to get this figured out. But I think that this all starts at the center spot on the offensive line. FJ, Neil in a Henley shirt. No, I never rocked the Henley shirt back in the day. I never did that. Art Vandelay, Zeitler didn't want to re-sign in Detroit. It's been heavily reported. Hey, Art, don't let facts get in the way, my friend. Don't let facts get in the way. All right, let's do this then. Second hour of the show, we have Thursday fights with D-Mac. We have a youth hockey brawl. D-Mac will break down from all angles. We got to touch on the coordinator thing. I think Spencer's Brian Flores dream might be dead. We'll discuss that. Tell them about Loom.
Absolutely. Tax season stressing you out. Take a break at Loom Cannabis right now. Score 40% off when you spend $80 or more with promo code TAXBREAK80. Running now through March 22nd. And if you're new to Loom, you get a free shake ounce for just stopping in. Plus, your first free visit comes with freebies. Choose a Loom 8th, 200 milligram gummy, or a 1 gram cart with just a $20 spend. Find them now at Loom.com or any of Loom's 41 locations throughout Michigan.
What about Hockey Talk and Heartbreak?
Absolutely. Forget the flowers. Let's talk hockey this Valentine's Day. Join me, 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, for Hockey Talk and Heartbreak. D-Mac and friends are taking over Diamondback Music Hall for a night of legendary stories, laughs, and the kind of grit only a Detroit icon can deliver. Saturday, February 14th. You don't have Valentine's Day plans. You do now. Diamondback Music Hall in Belleville, Michigan. Doors at 6, 7 o'clock show, pre-sale VIP. I'll even get you the VIP exclusive roses and chocolate-covered strawberries at your table. Meet and greets after, whatever it is. Grab your tickets or VIP table now. DiamondbackMusicHall.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Attention sports fans, don't miss expert sports injury insights from Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. Catch Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursdays on the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, where he offers top-tier advice to keep athletes of all ages in peak condition. Trust the guy I trusted for 4 Stanley Cups. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to help you stay in the game and perform at your best. Learn more at MichiganSportsandSpine.com. Call 248-426-9944.
Hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. I'm in Milwaukee. D-Mac's back there at the studio in Birmingham. KG, Spencer Rockstar out there as well. Jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread. You want to skip the line, you can use the super chat. Let me make sure I'm caught up on all of that. Grandpa Joe Stinky Toes, call him what you want. The first D line, good luck. So Woodward Sports chat thread, again, get into there, get your thoughts out there. Subscribe to Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jeremy Kruger, Tyler Linderbaum, 4 to 5 year deal, 20 to 22 million per. Jeremy, I don't even know if that's going to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's really out of character, like, for me to say, hey, you got to go overpay a center and pay a center $23-24 million a year. But yeah, Jeremy, I'm in that camp. I am, for real. I am, dude. Like,
that's what this team needs, right? And they can't wait, Neil. So you know what? Taxation representation. Let's center position. That's where the bell of the balls are. If you get your right guy that you think he is your Frank, he is your guy for the next 3-4 years, you got to pay him, right? I mean, pretend he's a wide receiver. He's just as important.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Jonathan Anton, we're not getting Linderbaum. Ravens will franchise tag him for $58 million. The numbers. That's why. Look, Jonathan. That's why they didn't pick up his option, man. Like, his option was going to be $20+ million because it's offensive line. So that's the reason they didn't pick it up, because they couldn't afford it. Because they have your god Lamar making $75 million, or have a $75 million cap hit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go be aggressive. Be aggressive. Some NFL notes, just real quick. Adam Schefter tweeted out a little while ago, Mike McCarthy is scheduled to interview Saturday in Tennessee for the Titans head coaching vacancy. So that one's out there. Mike McCarthy. If they want to underwhelm the fans there in Nashville, they can go ahead. They can go ahead and go that way.
That seemed like a perfect spot for him.
Yeah, right. The Commanders are going to they have a new stadium plan for 2030. They're going to put it there where the old RFK site is. Going to be about a $4 billion stadium. So that's out there. I haven't taken a look at the financing or anything like that. Overnight, John Harbaugh is supposedly finalizing an agreement to become the next coach for the New York Giants. And I
love it.
Across the board, it sounds
for all the Giants fans.
5 years, $100 million though.
Say we're not nice to you, Lucido. Congratulations, you finally got a coach.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you this though. I do like that. I do like that move for them, man.
You know what I like,
Grandpa
Neil? You know what I like about that, right? I think it might reinvigorate John. I think he was getting him and Lamar were getting a little bit like my team or your team. Like, I don't think Lamar might be the best listener. You know, you hear things about him falling asleep in meetings or whatever. You got Scatterboo, Dart, young guys or whatever with a John Harbaugh. They'll be all locked in. I mean, that is like culturally changing, that he can really change that team, because I like their young talent and then like the football players. And I think he will succeed there. If anybody can pull them out of where they're at, it's him.
I think that's a good call. Like, he probably will be like reinvigorated to some degree, because things run stale sometimes, and certainly too, like with the Ravens, they were in that spot. The bill came due on Lamar. The Ravens can't afford it. I mean, to some degree, yes. Woodward Sports chat thread. Art Vandelay, Titans' new stadium is going to be legit. All right, the coordinator thing. Spenny, you see, I read a report. Brian Flores is supposed to interview with the Steelers for the head coaching job. Spenny, are you slowly giving up on the Brian Flores defensive coordinator dream?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be Shep. They're not even taking any interviews for their defensive coordinator, obviously, because they have a defensive coordinator right now. So unless Dan Campbell just completely flips on his boy and fires him to hire somebody else, which is not going to happen, then, yeah, Shep is going to be the defensive coordinator again next year.
Spenny, there was sadness in your voice when you said that.
Yes, I would much rather have Brian Flores than Kelvin Shepard.
I think he's going to – is there a better match in the history of the NFL than Brian Flores, head coach of the Steelers?
No.
Nah. That's perfect spot.
Yeah, if they don't hire him, man, then they definitely fumbled the bag.
If the Steelers don't hire Flores, then he's legitimately never going to be a head coach again in the NFL.
100%. Yeah, no, you're probably right. Has there been any updates like since yesterday? I didn't get a chance to like read insider, so I'm just going to ask the room. The Mike McDaniel thing. Was there any takeaways? Did any of the media folks have anything to report? What's the word in the street?
He stayed overnight.
Yeah,
so
that's about it.
Yeah, he stayed overnight in Detroit. He was seen boarding a flight at DTW to Tennessee, where he probably goes to interview for their head coaching spot. But other than that, it really hasn't been much of any change. It's just he is doing the rounds. He is the belle of the ball when it comes to the hiring cycle. So we'll see if he gets a head coaching spot. If he decides that that's what he wants to do, then he'll have one waiting for him. I'm sure that any of these teams like Tennessee or Vegas or stuff like that would want him. Now, it's on him. Like, do you want to go to Vegas? That's how I've been looking at it with Mike McDaniel, is that he is going to be one of the most coveted head coaches every single year. He is going to be one of the most coveted minds in football every single year. And if I'm him, why would I jump to Tennessee or Vegas when, who knows, maybe Sean McDermott gets fired after the playoffs this year. Maybe Matt LaFleur is out in Green Bay in a year or two. Maybe Zach Taylor gets kicked out of Cincinnati next year. So there are going to be openings in the NFL every year. There always are. I wouldn't jump on a Tennessee or Vegas that is going to have that opening again in a couple of years.
You know what's funny for me in all this is that Mike McDaniel seems like a guy that is a competitor, right? Like, and this is just like, for me, or you look around the room and you've seen this with coaches sometimes, like when they have offset language in their contract, when they lose their job, that they sit out. Like they sit it out. They're not going to work for free. How Mike McDaniels has handled getting fired in Miami has elevated him in my book to where he seems to be very intentional with what for him to come out and say, I'm not interested in just any job. Like what was his exact words? Like, I'm not interested in a bad coaching job, head coaching job or something like that. I forget exactly what it was. But for him to say that says a lot about how he is as a competitor. And like, look, we like the glasses and, the sprinting across the field after the interviews. And he's a character and he's a lot of fun and everything like that. But I will say this. Throughout this whole process, he's gone up a couple notches in my book. For real. Like, I'm not being a slap or anything like that. It's just, D-Mac, sometimes guys offer a window into your makeup as a person. And I do. I think, like, he's a competitor that just wants to coach ball, man. I believe that.
Yeah, like we always talk about, is it what he does or is it who he is? Some of these guys live the game, stay in the game, have to stay in the game. Some guys can step away from the game, right? And sort of reevaluate and stuff like that. I think from what you hear from him is that he doesn't want to take time off. He's going to be either offensive coordinator somewhere or more probably a coach somewhere, because he still has that fire in him. And I think that's what you're seeing is the fact that he wants to compete, he wants to win. He's not looking at this as just collecting a paycheck and walking away. He knows he's young, and it'd be interesting if somebody was in his camp to know his motivations, because you not think that over the last, especially the last season, but the last couple seasons with what's gone on in Miami, he doesn't sit there on the beach in the sun and say, wonder if it's better somewhere else or something like that. So that just tells me that something's going to get done probably sooner than later once he goes through these interviews. But also, too, you don't hear anything. So a lot of times that's into the professionalism. I think that adds to it, because there is no rumblings coming out of it.
Woodward Sports chat. Maz's carpet bag. Mike McDaniel's a con man who convinced dumb jocks he knows WTF he's doing. Well, Maz's carpet bag. When I looked on the scoreboard, sometimes their number was in the 70s in an NFL game. So, to some degree, Matt, can we meet in the middle, Matt? Like, I think he knows what he's doing a little bit. Tyrell, McDaniel's not coming here. The Tennessee wants him to develop Cam Ward, but I don't think he wants Tennessee. I'll tell you guys this. As we look around and see what Vrabel's doing in New England, I think Tennessee's reputation organizationally has taken a big hit across the league. I think that's very, very fair to say. I don't know, even with Cam Ward, do you really want to be in Tennessee with that ownership that at the drop of a hat can have like a snap emotional reaction and act the fool? D-Mac, you tell me. You were in the professional circles, man. Were there teams where the management, players talk, coaches talk, where you're like, man, I would never go to X city because the management's a clown show?
Well, I think it's more of control, right? So Mike McDaniel, if we're talking about McDaniel, you're talking about a veteran coach going to a different situation. There's some sort of, like, he knows, right? What's he looking for in his he's looking for more control over things. So are you going to go to a team in any sport that the owner is more involved, like a Cowboys, or like you said, what Tennessee, what are the teams with the quick triggers? Like KG said, or Spenny said, Vegas will be hiring a new coach in 2 years anyways. Like there's certain things that you don't want to put yourself in that position, but also too, teams that are desperate will give away a little bit more control in the past to something else. So that's why it's interesting this time of year to wait and see. I think that with McDaniel, it's not like a next job. He's been a head coach long enough to understand, what goes on and what he needs to do it. So in this case, yeah, but that would be a deterrent to why guys would sign other places, right? In this case, if a star player is a free agent, not going to go there with a coach that, like a Mike Keenan guy or some way, or Babcock, my way or the highway guy that reputation knows. So I think coaches are the same thing. They have other coaches that have been there and friends, and they know everybody knows each other and knows the way it is. And it's whether this specific coach wants to put themselves in that position. If they will, if they can obtain some power and protection against that person, but if not, then no. I think it's just playing everybody against everybody else.
All right, we're going to take the break. When we come back, I have a Red Wings question for you guys that I want to know the answer to. And Spenny, D-Mac, I do want to see, because everyone's talking about, like, trade deadline stuff is like firing up, right? Like everybody's, getting into it and all that kind of stuff. I just want to take a first look at it. I want you guys to tell me a realistic outcome, just where it doesn't have to be like name specific. I guess just, again, philosophy specific. What do you think will happen? Because I'm officially ready to get hurt again. I am. I'm fully prepared. I'm prepared.
Oh,
I can deal with it.
Especially after the jersey retirement, you're all in. Let's go.
Bricked up.
Right? Let's go.
I had the combos with Stevie and Todd, I'm all the way in, guys.
I was there. I saw
I will lean on your expertise when we come back. Let's talk about Sun Cruiser, everyone. Elite, just 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol, 1 gram of sugar. Lemonade iced tea, all the flavors. They're all good, and I thought it was going to be something that would just be like a fun little drink in the summertime, but no. They stay in the fridge over at the Rule household. They stay in the fridge at the Spencer Raxter household, and it doesn't matter. December, January, snowstorms, Benny doesn't care. He'll drink them during a snowstorm because they are that good. No bubbles, by the way, and no carbonation. They're a proud partner of the Detroit Lions. Sun Cruiser is taking every.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Neil, what about Sharon's?
Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning, everybody. KG knows he is having some furnace issues. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning made their way over to there, handled those issues, and boom, he was back up. He turned that thermostat all the way up to 78 degrees there because he could do that. But that's the story with Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. You go to their website, sharonsheating.com. If you know the end is near for your furnace, for your air conditioner, for your hot water tank, you can take a look on the website. You can get instant quotes. You can take a look, know how much things are going to cost, know how you can pay for it with the financing options that are on there as well. Heating and air conditioning, keeping Michigan families comfortable and safe for over 40 years. All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter. I'm in Milwaukee. The boys are back at the compound in Birmingham. And I have a question for everybody there in the room, the hockey folks. I'm in. All right, I'm in. Like it's season. The car flag's back out. They're leading the division. All of that stuff. So I guess before we get into like the philosophy of trade deadline stuff, because we're still a ways out. The NBA trade deadline's coming up in about 2.5-ish weeks or so. The NHL one comes at the beginning of March. But I need a primer, everybody. But do you guys get the feel, before we get into philosophy, do you guys get the feel that something will be done this season? Do you guys get that feeling? Spenny, D-Mac, do you get that feeling as we get ready to go?
Yes.
I like it. All right.
I think they have to do something this season just because of how cutthroat the East is, and there are teams that are going to make moves at the deadline in the East to bring in pieces to try to push them up above that middle of the pack where like 80% of the Eastern Conference is in the NHL. And the Red Wings, they do have some glaring holes. I know they're at the top of the East right now, but they do have some spots where they could really use some veteran impact. And I think there are guys you look at Calgary, you look at Vancouver, you look at even New Jersey is trying to sell some guys off. Those are a lot of teams that have players that could interest the Red Wings. And Steve Yzerman could take advantage of some of those GMs. So I think they're going to make a move to bring in a guy to help solidify them and get through that March push.
You know, it'd be interesting, too. You know, we're talking about, obviously, are you going to get a top 6 scoring forward? I don't know. The imperative is on the front line is having some support, but more and more, Neil, and just reading it, is you need a right-hand face-off guy. Because if Comfort's not going to do it, you need somebody else. I mean, the Dylan Larkin's taking the second most face-offs in the league behind Nico Hischier of New Jersey, and he's at 53%. But you know what? He's not going to always be out there to take draws. And we saw it from the other day. You know, you reminded everybody where I turned to you and said, "Can we win a freaking draw?" Mm-hmm. You know, because that's where it comes down to sort of playoff hockey. So I think that the moves that are going to be made is to insulate and solidify with some, you know, I'd like to see some warriors on the back end and maybe in the bottom 6, but guys that are going to do the little thing, and winning faceoffs might be the priority over getting that top 6 goal scorer.
So D-Mac, what you're telling me is this would be like the Tigers getting a reliever, right? Like a setter. We need a face-off specialist, is what you're saying. I made it, right?
Like, or
What we
somebody
need.
that like face off, penalty kill, somebody that, you know, the little things like doesn't have to, it, you know, might not be. I think that you have to kick the tires on everybody. And if there is that player, like Spenny said, there are some teams that are going to be looking to sell, and there are some good players and young players on these teams, you know, but you're not the only team going for it. Hopefully, maybe you have, between the money you have in the salary cap and some of the young guys, and maybe this is what Grand Rapids and the guys playing so well that other teams that are looking to rebuild look inside of your organization for a younger guy that you got to be willing to move to solidify with the vets. So I definitely, out of any year, like this is like I've said, that put yourself in a position and to get reinforcements. And I'm sure Steve Yzerman is working the phones right now.
All right. Secondary question for you guys. The chat right now, for some reason, is all over Marco Casper. ... Your thoughts?
Yeah, that's my boy. He's not playing well. I mean, he's skating and he's playing defensively well and he's killing penalties and stuff like that, but he is not getting in the scoring column, and that is, it is concerning at this point, because you thought like, oh, it's just a slump, he'll break out of it. He's been shuffled up and down the lines. He's been put with different line mates, and he has not been able to break out of it. And it's not like, going forward, are you concerned with Marco Casper? Maybe if you're a fucking idiot, but like this year has not been great with him, and he needs something. He needs the break. He needs a jump start. Maybe he needs to go over there and be the man for the Czech team, and that will help him get his goal scoring up a little bit. But right now, when you have a young guy go out there and pressure and focus too hard, that he needs to change things, and he's gripping the stick a little bit too tight, and he's trying to do everything all at once. But yeah, you need him to step up. You do, and it does suck that he's not getting in the scoring sheet. But it's a slump, man, and he's got to break out of it one way or another.
Sophomore slump too, and you never know, because the conversation, if coming off last year, you would have thought that this is a guy that's an immediate part of the future, but you know, some other team could be looking in, and he could be one of these guys that you could use as a piece to get better and to bring back a real player. So I'm not out on him yet. I think that what he was asked to do early on is that he's lost. And I think that to that point, as I said, this year with this team, let's get to the Olympic break, because it can help a lot of young players, even if it helps Marco Casper go represent his country and sort of find his groove back. Because if he gets going, like he hasn't gotten going at all.
Yeah.
So if he has half the season so far of last year, look at where this team is. So that might be a guy that you're looking for, that it's as if maybe you've traded for, if he can come back and give you some production. I mean, they're trying everything with him. You see, and I saw a stat come up. What is it true? Larkin's only got 1 5-on-5 point in the last 20 games or whatever like that.
It might be.
That sounds egregious, but if it is, but you've also seen it does. But if you've also seen, you know, they've separated Larkin and Raymond and tried to put Marco Casper there and change things up. So they're trying everything right now, and unfortunately, when we talk about sophomore slumps, you're witnessing one.
Yeah.
EX27 in the chat. Talbot could be part of a deal if Stevie feels comfortable with Kosa. I can't see that. Right? You have to drive this home, obviously, and you have to make the playoffs. I can't see Steve Yzerman doing that, like moving Talbot and say, okay, Rook, here you go. Get us to the playoffs, playing every fifth game in relief of Gibson. D-Mac, that's not realistic, is it?
Yeah, you never know. It depends. I mean, I would say it's not at the top of the list, but you can't say that if some team that wants Talbot to whatever, the benefit is last year you didn't have that option. This year you do. Because of John Gibson, because of Kosa, and can he come up here and backstop and play? I think that all that would be in into the calculation of Steve Eisman to see if that Costa is ready, then that opens it up. I don't think you're going to move any of your young goalies in Costa or Augustine, but if somebody wants Talbot and it's the kicker to a deal, if that's the kicker to a deal that he wants, then he'll make it and go with it, because you're riding John Gibson anyways.
The Ski Mask Boy in the chat, Casper equals Zadina. Now, guys, come on. Everybody calm down for a second here.
That's a little aggressive.
Yeah, that is overly aggressive. That is not needed here, nor is it welcomed here. All right, when we come back, it's time. Thursday fights. I'm excited for this one. I think that we are going to get even a little. We get to expand the boundaries of Darren McCarty and really tap into his hockey fight knowledge here, because I'm sure a lot of you saw it. There was a youth hockey brawl during the intermission break of a minor league game in Hershey, Pennsylvania. So DMAC is going to take us step by step through the melee process, through the Donnybrook process, and really, DMAC, I kind of want like a station by station thing. Just what's going through everybody's head, what the responsibilities are. I'm excited for this one, my friend.
Lead me to the water, I'll drink.
There you go, everybody. Lead Ben Johnson to your legal water, and he will drink for you as well. He'll fight for you also. Go to venfights.com. You need tough, tenacious trial lawyers. The outcome of these legal proceedings will change the course of your life. Your legal representation is all you have, everybody, when you get into looking for justice, whether that's a settlement, whether it's a verdict, whatever your justice is. Get the fighter, get tough, tenacious trial lawyers, get Ben Johnson Law.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like DMAC. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero, icy and true. Feel the chill, it's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
Mr. Vapor Store is a next-generation cannabis vape brand engineered for control, consistency, and clean delivery. The product line utilizes cutting-edge tech and streamlined design to meet the demands of experienced cannabis consumers. Introducing the all-new premium 3-gram disposable THC vape. Available in Berry Skittles, Blueberry Gelato, Bombsicle OG, Lemon Haze, Lush Ice, Phantom Punch, Rainbow Run, Strawberry Satori, and Vanilla Kush. Available in a dispensary near you. Find the store locator map online at www.mrvaporstore.com. Follow them on Instagram at mr.vaporstore.
All right, back at Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, McCarty, KG, Spencer, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. All right, time everybody. Thursday fights, back by popular demand, one of the more popular segments that we do here on Big D Energy. It is where Darren McCarty lends his expertise, where Darren McCarty shares his experience in real-world applications, whether it be a bar fight in the stand or DMAC for the very first time ever in the history of Thursday fights, a youth hockey brawl, DMAC. So, but before we get into it, just your general thoughts overall, and then we'll go through the footage.
Well, when this first came across my view, I had a lot of questions. They were answered. So let's just say this was more of a wrestling setup from I found out from the parental units and stuff like this. But wow, did the kids ever pull off a doozy? So yes, the little fellas out there competing tells me that the game lives on. I love it. So let's have a look, and then I'll answer as we go. So you can see it starts sort of in the corner. One guy knocked the other guy down. So there's green kid. Look at this. Yep. Power numbers. Oh, and they're all coming in. So you know it's a dog pile right there. But everybody involved.
The Mario joke.
I bet you the puck's in the other corner. A couple elbow drops. And, then it gets out. Like, it's not the first time these get there. Then they square off at center. They go. Pick a man.
The little
Kid in the
type.
green, hey, don't drop your stick. Dino Cicerelli would have been impressed. The kid didn't drop his stick. Now they're looking around. Like no one's. The beauty is no one's wailing on each other. Like we've seen this in the back. There, goalie out of the net. Wow. Come down.
And then he goes right back to the net.
That is
That
awesome.
left hook was mean by that kid, or right hook, should I say? But that's
Well, we always say
All right,
power in numbers. So you know what? I not okay. This isn't about how it started. That's for everybody else to figure out how it started. But once it starts and you're there, you got to go help your guys.
Right.
So I think that we saw reinforcements in all different colors coming from all different areas.
They're fighting the same team.
it's a Royal Rumble.
You probably
All right,
wouldn't
so
be
D-Mac,
surprised.
my question to
Look
you.
at the Lidstrom
right,
out there with his stick in his hands. A guy comes out to him. He goes, "Get away from me, man! I'm an all-star. I'm a Hall of Famer."
Right.
So that must be their goal scorer. He doesn't want to get involved. But the goalie coming in here, right, sticking up for his buddy is awesome. From the other end
All right,
of the
D-Mac,
ice.
my first
there it is.
question.
Oh, there it is. From the other. Ow! Good hit. But the best part. Oh, and then retreat back
Right
to your
back.
net. Okay, sorry, Neil. What do you need?
All right, my question. Just you said
lay it
never
on.
drop
That's
your
my
stick.
favorite one. And then back to the goal, so the ref didn't see you.
Yep.
All right, you said never drop your stick. Why?
No. I said if you're out there and you're not sort of one of the guys that is in the middle of it, keep your stick in your hand to deter, like the kid out in the slot. When the other kid comes out to him, then it's a good deterrent to stay away from me.
Couple of friendly fire
That's
shots in there.
Dino
Yeah.
Cicerelli. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm in the corner
So-
without my stick and gloves, so I mean it doesn't matter.
Kid
But
at the bottom can't fight because he ain't getting involved in nothing.
But he's probably a goal
KG
scorer.
called
Kenny,
the
so you
kid
don't
out
want him.
'cause he
to.
can't
Right, the finesse guy. I get it.
I would say the green teams are the aggressors.
Now, D-Mac, this is pretty uniform for a hockey scrum. Like, there's clearly a respect level there. Like you were saying, it's not vicious or ill intent. It's all in the glory of the game.
100%. 100%. And if you look at like we didn't see how it started, but I guarantee with the kid laying on the ground is the other kid knocked him down or whatever, and then his buddies coming in because that's what he's seen. And then all the buddies come in. And then all the buddies come in. Here we go. And just like with the big guys, right, the entertainment, but you don't want to see anybody get hurt.
No,
so
of course.
The thing that you don't like, and I've been a victim of this in a 5-on-5 brawl. My first year with Dallas at Joe Louis is I got cut real bad. Skate come flying around, and my hand was on the ground. Like I got stitches. My hand was like this, and it
Yeesh.
took. Like I got you can't see it here, but I got scars from this because the skate came across and went over my hand. That's when skates get flying and stuff like
Yeah.
this. That's where it's sort of dangerous. But other than that, rubbing's racing.
Yeah,
And
but
they
no,
did
that-
like the best part after that, the coach or whoever else yelling at you, but nobody got hurt. As that. So I'm sure you're not going to see that anymore because they're gonna put a hammer down on that stuff. But the one thing is don't be surprised. All those guys might have been on the same team.
Yeah.
Because usually it's one team, right? And you split your team up and go whatever.
Right.
So
And they were chirping
I
at
don't want
each
to play
other.
those guys.
Yeah.
But I thought that was enjoyable. What would you guys have done if you were in the crowd? You know, because they have the little games at every intermission, or at least first intermission.
Yeah.
You see that would have to like.
Oh, I'm cheering the kids on.
Yeah,
that's right.
absolutely.
You know, the parents in the stands. Yeah.
I'm pounding the glass. You know, that's
beat his ass, Billy.
That's what you like to see.
Get after it.
That's what you like to see.
The goalie was awesome.
The goalie was
right. He just wanted to hit something.
Hit
I
him,
love
then
it.
back to his net.
Yep.
So.
No, it was a lot of fun though. But like, I that was something I learned. Like, this is always educational. I guess having the when you keep your stick in your hand, that's the signal to everybody that you are not involved, and that's universal, right? So
or
like,
you don't want to be involved, and in that instance, right? So if it's the bigger guys, right? There's probably a guy out on the ice, right? That is one of your skill guys, and hopefully that they have a skill guy too, and those two skill guys can go stand off in the corner and watch. They don't need to be involved.
Yeah. And they can, like, if they want to make it theatrical, they can hold each other's jerseys or whatever, right?
Yeah,
like
just,
that.
absolutely. Make
Just
it look
hug
like
in
they
the corner.
care.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, go back to
What did Tom McClellan call it? An Edmonton barn dance or something like that?
Barn dance.
something like that. Yeah, like the perfect one is you go back to the March 26th brawl and you see where Nick Lidstrom and I think Gusarov, their Russian star defenseman, they were just off in the corner standing. It's like I told Mickey Redmond said at the fan fest, says, Nick, what were you doing? And I was like, standing in the corner, not involved like he should be. Everybody's got to roll.
Woodward Sports chat thread. John Effing Lord, the goalie brought the boom. Woodward Sports chat thread. Neil, you would probably want to keep your stick. I would say, D-Mac, in a very Neil-type response, where am I at contract? Have I just signed my big deal? If I've just signed my big deal, then I'll go get in the mix. Am I up for free agency that year? Am I still on a rookie contract? Like that. Hey, D-Mac, these are all real things, right?
Yeah, they are. They are. You wouldn't have been on the ice.
Yeah.
We would have got you off the ice. We would have saw that coming.
Yeah, 100%. People surprised, too. Dante 151, hell, that's a damn near packed house. Minor league hockey, man, in these small cities, let them know, D-Mac. Like, in these smaller cities, man, people show out.
Well, that's the one thing, right, is that we all can agree upon is that hockey is the hardest game to watch on TV and to learn from if you haven't learned from watching it. But you go live and you get the atmosphere and the environment and stuff like that, you're locked in. And by the way, that goalie, textbook body check, hands down, led with the shoulder. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Mike G, don't break your stick. That's $389 plus tax. That is correct.
Absolutely. Did I tell you that's my move in the alumni or whatever? Guy gets frisky, go on the face-off. It's like, I ain't gonna fight you, but that's a nice stick. And break his stick, and if he doesn't, right? So ching ching, $300.
There you go.
If he doesn't get the hint, then you start breaking all the rest of his team sticks. That really pisses guys off. Really, because of him, and then you make an announcement because he's an asshole and he thinks this is for the Stanley Cup, right? And not going to relax, and you are all going to pay for it.
Literally.
I get my shit for free, boys.
Flex on him.
I'll break sticks all day long.
All day.
Yeah. Mike G, junior hockey is affordable and fun. It is. I do enjoy it. I'm a big OHL guy, as a lot of you know. I do hate that, as my sports media career has gone on, hockey is the thing that's kind of gotten pushed out in the day-to-day. But I do. I really like the OHL. Junior hockey is a lot of fun, no doubt. Let's see. Where do we have to go here, Spenny? Buddy's Pizza, right?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about it then. Buddy's Pizza, the original, the OG of Detroit-style pizza. Been in the game since 1946. They do it better than anybody because they invented it. There's over 20 Buddy's locations all around Metro Detroit. If you're going downtown, there's a Buddy's Pizza right in the middle of downtown. If you're going to a game, if you're going to a concert, whatever you have going on, it's right there, right in the mix downtown. And then, of course, all out in the suburbs as well. You want to get it tonight for dinner? It's Thursday night.
BuddiesPizza.com. Use the promo code 10meal. You'll save 10% off of your Buddies Pizza order. Buddies, the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Let's face it, no matter what we do, we all have our aches and pains that we deal with on a daily basis, especially with this weather. Providing you with relief, reliable, so that you can live your best life is what Chill Medicated is here to do. Chill Medicated's line of topical products are non-transdermal, meaning it does not get you high, making it the perfect fit for all-day use in any environment. Find reliable relief where it matters most. Pain may be inevitable, but suffering is not. Try it today. ChillMedicatedCBD.com.
All right, coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Mike O. Churchill and Flint makes a decent old-fashioned, Neil. I don't do a ton of old-fashions. Only
when
I'll do an
Hall of
old-fashioned.
Famers pass them to you.
Yeah, that's it. Terry Foster, Dino Cicerelli, etc. Yeah, you got to be pretty high level. If I'm going to sit there and have an old-fashioned, if they're doing and I'm in the room, then I'll do it. Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there.
I like Steve-O Baby. You know the old Blades of Steel? Blades of Steel.
Yeah.
If we get that drop for Thursday fights or some POWs or some wax.
I got you.
We should cook up some kind of intro for Thursday fights. We should do that.
We can
kind of like
do
audio based or whatever.
Should be some swag
Maz's carpet
shit.
bag.
Yeah.
I know less than nothing about hockey, but I've been to a Lightning game. And it was awesome, even if you're as clueless as me about the sport. So it is. Hockey's great fun, man. Great fun. All right, tonight, Pistons finally, after a long break, Pistons back in action at LCA. They're hosting the Phoenix Suns. So we did the Red Wings trade stuff. I want to dip the toe for the first time into the Pistons trade stuff. And I think that the answer for the Pistons and the trade deadline stuff is a little more cloudy than the Red Wings trade deadline stuff. There is a very surprising camp. And I'm talking about like how big this camp is. There are a lot of people, and Spenny, I'd be curious to get your talks on this, because obviously the heavyweights 5 to 7, shout out Spencer and Easy. Like, look, we've talked about it in the past. Sports and sports fans have become, there's been a fantasization of sports and an obsession with the transaction as opposed to the action. And from my readings, what we've seen on social media, are you surprised how there would be a high level of tolerance if the Pistons did not make a move? Does that surprise you at all?
No, I don't think so, because this is still a team that is waiting to win its first playoff series in, 10 years, 20 years almost. So, I don't think that realistically fans think like, oh, they're a championship contender. So they don't want to blow things up just to make the move. Me personally, I know the East is wide open and this team is a move away from making the NBA Finals. And if it means giving up Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris, and 2 first-round picks to make a trip to the NBA Finals, you're goddamn right I'm doing that. So I think the majority of fans, they're not in the all-in category just yet because they haven't seen them win a playoff series even yet, let alone get to an Eastern Conference Finals or something like that.
So I guess my follow-up to that is, like, just for namesake, like a Michael Porter Jr. or whatever the flavor of the week is. Spenny, like, you know as well as I do that we've seen, like, I just go back to look at what Desmond Bane fetched in the, you talk 4 first-rounders and stuff like that. Like, it's cute to talk about now, but Jaden Ivey, Tobias, and 2 first-rounders, in my opinion, Spenny, isn't going to get the job done. Like, because you know how this works, man. It gets out of control. It gets way out of control. So, like, again, I would think that, Spenny, I don't want to say you might be underwhelmed with what the Pistons do, because I think that Trajan's going to do what Trajan did last year. He's going to take a look. He's going to say, all right, where is this year's Dennis Schroeder move?
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, when he traded Schroeder out to L.A., he got a traded player exception from the Lakers, which was a very, very savvy move. I honest to God think that you're going to see them use that traded player exception, and whatever addition they make, I think it's going to come at no cost, just a financial cost, where they can use that money and do it that way. Like, it's not going to be Giannis or whatever big name gets moved out there. I think you're going to see Trajan Langdon do it. And, like, I think that with the Pistons, the people have more of an understanding of where they are, just like what you talked about, Spenny. But I think in the end that you're going to see Trajan Langdon do something very, very calculated, very, very smart, and at a very, very low cost, but not for the sake of low cost sake. I think it's going to be something that's impactful, Spenny. I do.
Could I interest you in C.J. McCollum?
Yes. Of that ilk.
Yeah.
Yeah, like of that ilk right there. Spenny, I'll flip that on you and say, look, ball. C.J. McCollum on this team is a great fit.
Yes. Yeah, I would absolutely take C.J. McCollum in a heartbeat, and it wouldn't cost you any money. Like, it would be some veteran minimum kind of contract to bring him out here to play the rest of the season. It's not like you're signing him to this 4-year deal. It's just, all right, we need shooting. Here's a career, very good three-point shooter, a guy that's played in playoff series before, a guy that can provide some veteran leadership for the young guys on this team. I would do that.
Neil, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
If the Pistons have the trade exception, right? So we all expect that, or at least, we do. We expect that to be the move. If you're essentially getting a player for free, do you think Trajan would maybe look at another move? Or do you think it's just one and done regardless of what happens at the deadline?
Can I ask you a question, KG?
Absolutely.
Would you like to see him bring in someone that's generational and someone that we've never seen before?
Oh, this is what we doing. Okay, cool. Got you.
No.
That's that on purpose.
That's what you get, you bastard. That's what you get.
But to his point and to your point about McCollum or whatever, Spenny, because I think shooter,
yeah,
right, which you would say priority, but also too is because Neil caveated it with a team that hasn't won a playoff series, that hasn't been there. If you're going to add veteran leadership, you want to add guys that have been there, that could pass that knowledge around. And just what would you need? Say, example, let's using McCollum for an example. You don't need him for more than what off the bench?
15 minutes.
15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then come in and hit a few shots and not and whoever that is not be a detriment or, like a minus player. So I think that you're looking more towards that, but I think it's somebody also too to be in that locker room, to be on that bench, to be that calm in in situations that all these young guys haven't been before.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, you're looking for a guy to play 15 minutes a game, unless you're trying to upgrade your 4 spot, which like bring in a star or bring in not even a star, but just an upgrade to Tobias to be a starter, which I don't think they're going to do. You're looking for a guy to come in, provide some shooting, 15 minutes a game, and then have the experience and the knowledge to, if somebody gets in foul trouble, if somebody is having an off game, you feel comfortable having, Duncan's not shooting the ball well, you feel comfortable having CJ McCollum play starting 2-guard minutes.
There you go. Right. So you're more insulating than anything.
Yeah.
Tell me there's not a blue wall. Tell me there's not a blue wall.
I mean, that's what
And
your
tell
ass
me
get, man. You mess with the ball, you get the horn.
Absolutely. Man, I won't even say anything about 9 passing touchdowns. KG, getting back to the question, I would be surprised if they made a second move. I really would be. Especially like if it's like CJ McCollum type thing. I think that they're ready to rock with that. Woodward Sports chat thread. Chuck Brewer, we can bring him $14 million in salary. We also have to make a roster spot for Jenkins. Yeah, and that's fairly easily done. So I'm excited to see what Trajan Langdon does. But if you ask me to bet on it, I would think that a CJ McCollum type move with not a lot of cost of acquisition would be where Trajan goes. Mike G. Neil got cut off by the Schembechler Hall's giant radar system.
Yep.
No doubt.
One thing I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Are these deals. You see it on my chest. You know where to get it. Go to Mad Packs and find it near you today. All right, Mad Packs fans. If you're looking to elevate your rotation, listen up. This week only at all King of Buds locations and the Vibe location in Inkster, you can grab 4 Boom Shakalakas for just $20. Or you can get 5 high-low pre-rolls for only $12. Plus, when you buy any Mad Packs ounce, you'll get a free Boom Shaka Laka. These are the perfect pickups to get you through the Michigan winter. Stay locked in with Woodward Sports for all the latest Mad Pack updates and go to getmadpacks.com to find the stores near you. Mad Flavor, Mad High, Mad Packs.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Bar looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Looking to take your relaxation to the next level? Visit Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, featuring top-tier brands like Infinity and Ostaki. This is your destination for premium comfort and cutting-edge wellness technology. Experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the wellness doc and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews, at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today, massagechairhouse.com, or simply scan the QR code on the screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Roll, KG, Spencer Raxter. Appreciate all you guys tapping in. The Wi-Fi was very, very sketch here at the hotel, but you all hung in there, hung tough. Spenny, I appreciate you. I know it's a lot of moving parts when I do this stuff remote, so thank you guys, man. I appreciate it for sure.
Gotcha,
Woodward Sports, yes, absolutely. Talking about no, I'm good. You know what? I need to understand how good Paul Reed is. For real. Like, analytically, finally, Paul Reed, dollar for dollar. is one of the best values in Detroit sports. Real. Shit happens when Paul Reed's out there on the floor, man. Spenny, I'm looking forward to the day where you and I sit and watch together, and we can just like geek out about Paul Reed. I'm looking forward to that day.
Paul Reed's the man.
100%.
Paul, baby.
B-ball Paul.
B-ball
there
Paul.
It is.
D-Mac, what do you got going on this weekend?
I know this one. Saturday. I'll be. I know
this one.
Saturday,
What's the
4 to
test, D-Mac?
5. I'll be down at the auto show signing autographs. So be checking that stuff out. I got that going. Got some big meetings and stuff tomorrow as far as the wrestling school and the big things coming down the hill. But Saturday I'll be downtown checking out the game. Sharks are in town. Celebrini tomorrow night. So that'll be a good one. So I'll be around though. I ain't going somewhere warm if that's what you're asking.
Neither am I. I'm going to Green. I will be out tomorrow as well. It'll be Terry Foster and Anson. Speaking of going nowhere warm, I will be going to Green Bay. Woodward Sports Chat. Brendan in the chat. Shout out Vibe Inkster. Shout out. Absolutely.
Big shout out.
So,
it's my spot.
But yeah. And again, KG, your blue wall. That was a classic move by you guys. Can't even say anything. Mike G, Bryce
once
messing
again,
with Neil's
Neil Karen injected himself in matters that don't involve you.
That's
So
true.
that's what you got. What you got.
That was the Karen
Hey,
block.
it was
We're
always
trying to
gonna be a
teach you.
watch.
You just won't learn.
We have auto blocking for
Absolutely.
Karen.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today. Golden Grizzlies tonight, 7 o'clock. TV, ESPNU. You can listen to the call on the Odyssey app. For DMAC, for KG, for Spencer Raxter.
Deuces.
Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.